everybody, and welcome to another edition of Charlotte County Musician Factory. We are here today with Susan DeSouza, local singer-songwriter extraordinaire.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Good, I'm doing great.
All right, great. Well, Susan and I met during open mic season,
Yep.
and I guess let the people know, we're going to talk a lot about music, but I want to ask, tell us where you're from and where you grew up.
I'm originally from Connecticut. I grew up in a small town called Rocky Hill and lived in Manchester quite a bit of my life and have been involved in music most of my life.
So how'd you find yourself down here?
I was taking care of my mother for quite some time, about 11 years up in Connecticut, and my wife and I moved down here to Florida when my mother decided it was time to get some warmer weather.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about music. How did you
Okay.
start playing music and when?
Well, I started when I was 6 years old. On my 5th birthday, when I was 5 years old, my mother asked me what I wanted for my 6th birthday. And I told her I would like a guitar. And I said, if you get me a guitar, I will learn to play down in the valley, and I will play it for you on the porch when it's raining.
Oh.
So for my 6th birthday, that's what she did. She bought me a Sears guitar for $6.
$6? Wow.
Yeah.
I wish I can't even get a pack of strings for $6.
That was back in the early 60s.
Okay, so you continued to play like through
Yep.
junior high school and high school?
I took guitar lessons for about 6 years,
Oh,
and
wow.
the guitar teacher after 6 years told my mother I had learned everything I could possibly learn from him.
Oh, okay.
And during the guitar lessons, when I was done getting my lessons for those 6 years, I used to go out on the street waiting for her to pick me up, and there was these little old Italian men that would stand there in Middletown, Connecticut, and I would play Volga Boatmen for them, and they would throw quarters into my guitar case.
Oh, really? So you're making money right away.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had paying gigs. That's
Yes,
great.
paid gigs.
So did you ever play in a band? I know you as a solo
Yep.
artist.
Yep. I
Okay.
started a band when I was about 12 years old, and we were called Poor Joe's Band.
Okay.
And we used
I like
to,
the name. I can relate.
and that was at the age of 12, and we used to play at fairs and school functions and things like that. And,
Really?
I sang at my graduation for the whole school, which was kind of really cool to me. And I started writing music when I was about 12 years old.
Really?
And have been writing ever since.
What was the first song you wrote? You remember?
Me and My Teddy Bear was actually the first song I ever wrote.
I like the theme. That sounds great.
Yeah, yeah.
So what were some of your main influences as far as
Oh.
music?
Boy, going back that far, Janis Joplin was my top influence back then. I used to sit in my bedroom, and I'd have the door closed, and I'd be playing my guitar, and I'd be playing Janis Joplin records, and I'd be screaming at the top of my lungs. And my father would stand at the bottom of the stairs and say, "Susan, what are you doing?" And I'd say, "Dad, I'm practicing because I'm going to sing like Janis Joplin." And he said, "That's not singing, that's screaming." And I said, "No, it's not, because she's on a record and she's making money."
Yeah, she is. Oh,
So it was Janis and the Doors were a big
Okay.
influence for me.
Cool.
Rod Stewart was a big influence.
Awesome.
Just any band that was sort of outside the norm were the people that I wanted to follow. Any band that had a message. Carole King,
Oh, I love
James
Carole.
Taylor,
Oh.
all those people that really, anybody in the Laurel Canyon area.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Tom Petty.
Yep.
He
Tom
was in
Petty.
there.
Yep. They all had messages.
Awesome. Is that what you like to convey in your songs?
Yes.
Important messages?
Yes, I think throughout my singing career and my writing career, that's really where I've gone with a lot of my songs. I started as a young adult. I did a lot of what they called in Connecticut Take Back the Night rallies for incest survivors. I did a lot of songs about people who had been abused and had incest relationships in their families, or people that had been raped, or
yeah.
whatever. So I had a lot of songs that really were geared toward kids that were being put into foster care or had been abused in any way, shape, or form. And my career in life was to go into social work, which I did. And after that, I started gearing my songs a lot towards healing and you know, world problems and social injustice and that type of stuff. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
It's really inspiring
Thank you.
that you would move like that.
Yeah.
So the band experience, did that suit you well, or did you switch to becoming a solo artist mainly?
I think the band experience probably was really good, but as I grew out of sort of the teenage years, I was really doing a lot of music on my own, and I would get together with other people and I'd perform with them, but I found more and more that I really liked writing songs and sort of experimenting with different ways to get ideas across, and I found that I really liked performing sort of solo.
Okay. Did you ever, do you have any teachers that you remember that really inspired you? You said you had that one guitar teacher.
Yeah, I you know, it's unfortunate because I'm terrible with names.
No worries.
I had a sort of an accident when I was a kid where I had a concussion, and I really have a hard time remembering names and memorizing things. So when I do a song here or I do a song anywhere, you will always see that I have words with me, just because I have trouble memorizing. So I don't apologize for it anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore, because to me what's really important is getting a message out there. Hopefully people will feel something when they hear a song that I've written. I don't do many cover songs at all. I do a lot of original stuff. And I'm hoping that, you know, somebody out there does get touched or does feel something from something that I have written.
That's great.
Thank you.
Do you ever write for anybody else?
I haven't written for anybody else. If somebody out there would like to have me write for them, I would be more than happy to.
Okay. So what do you love about performing the most?
I think what I love about performing is it feels free on the stage. I find performing very cathartic. I find it better than therapy. I've been in therapy in my life, and I find that I get a lot of my own therapeutic help from things that I write.
Right. I play every first Tuesday at the Bean Depot, and I always tell people this is my monthly therapy session.
Exactly.
So I can totally relate to that.
Yes. Yes.
I was going to ask you. I wasn't going to ask you what your favorite song is, but I want to ask you. Think about it this way: what is a song that you would like to hear for the first time again because it inspired you so much?
From another artist?
Yeah, that you wish you could hear again for the first
boy.
time.
Well, I have to say that my go-to artist for any song is Pink. Alicia Beth Moore. Pink is a great inspiration to me. I discovered her when she first came out and Get the Party Started and all that kind of stuff. But there's one song in particular that I think for me, when I've been at my lowest period, that has really saved my soul. And that is Conversations with My 13-Year-Old Self. It's not a song that became very popular on the radio, but as a social worker, I've used that when I've worked with young girls, because it really is a song that conveys a lot of, you don't have to be lonely, and you don't have to be scared, and you don't have to feel like the world is against you. And she conveys it in a way that says, I'm with you whether I'm physically there or not, but you can hear words that say, I am there. And I think that's what I love about music is a universal language. And I think the most powerful message I've ever gotten from music has been from the movie Philadelphia. And Philadelphia with Tom Hanks, there's one scene in there where he's standing by a fireplace and he's being interviewed by the lawyer that's going to be working with him on his AIDS case. And he starts this record that's an opera, and you can't understand what the words are, but you can see the emotion that's coming from the opera. And what I loved about it was you didn't have to understand the words. All you had to do was hear the emotion coming from the voice.
Right.
And the flames that were going on his face, just the lighting of the flames.
Right.
And that's what music is to me. And that's the importance to me of listening to a song, whatever that song might be. But Conversations with My 13-Year-Old Self,
That's a song.
I think was the song and is the song that is my go-to. Because we all have that person inside of us that is really hurt or damaged or whatever. And at times we need to go back to that person.
I'm sorry I don't know that song, but I'm definitely going to look it up.
I hope so.
And when you mentioned that scene from Philadelphia, I got goosebumps because I remember seeing that
Yeah.
with my college roommate and being like, I was in tears during that scene
Yeah.
because Tom Hanks, he gave a great performance too.
Right, it's very powerful.
So, wow. I was also going to mention that I was on YouTube yesterday and looking up some stuff for yours, and I really enjoyed the TikTok song that you wrote.
Oh, yeah, that's the only one I have on there because I don't know how to do YouTube, and I'm searching for somebody. Is anybody out there that knows how to produce a YouTube video? If you could help me, I would
This
love
is going to be on YouTube now that you mention it, so
Good.
so there's a good start for you.
Okay.
So before I talk about the song you're going to play, I was going to ask you about this instrument you're playing, this 12-string beautiful guitar.
Yep, this is a Ventura guitar, and actually I don't normally play this guitar. This guitar is over 40 years old.
Wow, doesn't look it.
I got it when I was in Connecticut. I just went into a music shop and decided I wanted to play a 12-string guitar, so this was my first 12-string. They call me the 6-string snob wherever I go because I don't play 6-string guitars anymore.
It's true.
I have a Taylor 12-string guitar that I usually bring with me, but I've just had this one redone, and it's beautiful. I've got all the bone keys right here, and it just has a nice sound to it, so I decided I'm going to bring this one today.
I believe I saw you with another 12-string the last time I saw you.
That was the Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's a sweet guitar, too.
Yeah, and this one is not electrified or anything like that. It's just an acoustic guitar.
Okay. Well, we've talked about what motivates you as a songwriter, but how about the process? Is it lyrics first, or is it music first?
It's a little of both. What usually happens is a lot of times I'm in the shower, and of course I'm thinking, I'm always, trying to write words or think of words. A lot of times it comes when I first wake up in the morning. So I've got to say it's a little of both. And, sometimes I can write a song in 10 or 15 minutes, and it's like complete, and that's it, and this is it. Other times it might take me 6 months to just put something together. So
I know how that goes.
Yep.
Sometimes a year. You
Yes.
revisit years
Yes.
later, and you're like, oh, I like that song,
Yeah,
that melody.
I've got about 50 of those at home sitting.
Well, we've done quite a few of these interviews so far, and most of the time when I talk to the people and tell them what we're going to do, is like, you got to pick one song, just one song. And most of them are like, wow, one song, that's got to be really hard. But when I talked to Susan, she said, no problem, I know exactly which song I'm going to pick. So tell us a little bit about the song you're going to play.
This song that I'm going to play today is called Another Day, and I wrote it back in 2003. And it really was a song about sort of going through our daily news, and we turn the pages on the news, we see all these horrific stories, we see all the things that are going on in the world, and it's just another day is going on. We hear these things on the news, or we talk to our neighbors, and oh man, I feel really bad about that, and it's just another day, and we don't really take stock into how serious some of this stuff is for people and how important another day is for somebody. And despite what happens in our lives every single day, or in somebody else's life every single day, no matter what happens, the sun is always going to come back, and it's always going to shine through. Because the sun is always, when we have a rainy or a thundery day, the sun always is going to come back and shine through. And it's always hiding behind the thunder and the lightning. So things can be scaring us and worrying us, but there's always something behind that thunder and the lightning that's going to reappear, and things will get better. We may not feel like they're going to get better, but they will.
And that's why I love Susan, because all her songs, they make me feel hopeful. So are you ready to do this?
I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, Susan DeSouza, Another Day.
Another day has come to an end, and there's another perfect moon up in the sky. another baby born, while a soul flew up to heaven. Another prodigal son came home. Another mother's wish was granted. Despite the days we're in, the sun seems to shine through again. It's only really hiding behind the thunder and the lightning. Well, another heart got broken today, and another child has lost his way. Well, another man lost his wife today, and another strong wind blew a whole town away. But despite the days we're in, the sun seems to shine through again. It's only really hiding behind the thunder and the lightning. Well, these are the things in the news today. But all we need to remember is that the sun's not far away. No matter what we may face today, no matter how far we may drift away, despite the days we're in, the sun seems to shine through again. It's only really hiding behind the thunder and the lightning. Yeah, despite the days we're in, the sun seems to shine through again. It's only really hiding behind the thunder and the lightning. Well, another day has come to an end, and there's another perfect moon up in the sky. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susan.
Oh, you're very
Thank
welcome.
you so much for coming.
You're
And,
welcome.
We'll see you out there again. And thanks you for watching Charlotte County Musician Factory. Take care.